Hey, hello, how is it going, everybody? We just got off the stream from the 3.18 Sentinel League announcement, and whew, that was a doozy. Very, very exciting. Spoilers, nothing buffed, nothing nerfed. Well, the enemies are going to be buffed. They're going to be a little scarier. Nothing directly nerfed at all. The patch notes were actually super, super tiny. Sentinel League itself looks pretty interesting. The actual league mechanic, who knows? Like, we always have to wait until we see how rewarding it is, for how annoying it is to interact with. But I'm excited. The real big thing there is Chris Wilson said that really exactly what I've been asking for, honestly, the past couple weeks, is I want them to just like look at the awesome endgame systems that they've put together and lean into that. Let's make it even crazier. Let's have a lot of fun. Let's not let the power creep get out of control. But I really think that they have hit that sweet spot, right? And they're clearly very happy with where it is. And they just want to give us more choice and more options and just allow us to have fun and play the game how we want. Let's just spend, 10, 15 minutes going over a little bit of a summary and, not draw it out too much. All right, so Path of Exile, Sentinel livestream just happened. What is Sentinel League? You get Sentinels, you get little buddies, and they are a consumable item that will follow you around. It will buff the enemy monsters and increase the loot that they drop. This is a way that we can kind of just, push our luck a little bit with these Sentinels. Some of them will be targeted towards specific enemies. Some of them will be like a big AoE. It'll do a big AoE burst, and they will have different intensities for how strong they are. In addition to that, they can also buff you, right? So like this one will give you Tailwind. Unique one down here, when a character kills an empowered rare monster, they gain its modifiers for 20 seconds. So straight up headhunter in a little Sentinel guy. So there are 3 different types of them, and you can use all 3 of them throughout the course of a map. They are consumable. They have a certain number of uses, and they are also craftable. As you can see, they are all corrupted. They are craftable by combining them. And Chris Wilson's specific line was breed a strong bloodline of Sentinels, something along those lines, where basically you will combine 2 different spent Sentinels, like they have, limited uses. You will expend them, and then you can combine 2 of them into a new one that will take some from the mother and father Sentinel, combine them, and then you get your new baby Sentinel, and maybe it'll have some mutations in the genetic code. Maybe there'll be something new there. For an example, that here, right, like we see empowered enemies, unique reward, increased aggro radius, increased number of empowered enemies here, and we actually see the aggro radius and the increased number got combined from the mama and the papa, and then the baby mutated itself to have the Jeopardy modifier there to have increased empowerment itself. Seems like a pretty simple raw league mechanic there. Pretty cool. And then there are specific items here that will allow you to do your crafting. So that is the Sentinel mechanic itself. In addition to that, there's also this circuit board here. You just get a set number of filaments, which are these connecting lines here. You get a set number. They are not consumable. You can respec it however you want. There's no consumable anything. You can just use this to customize and tweak your interaction with the Sentinel League mechanic however you want. We might just kind of find limited builds, basically, where it's like, all right, here's build A, build C, and then if you're kind of quirky and weird, you do build Z over here. But other than that, there might just be like some local maxima for the builds that people find, and there might not be too much personalization and variety. And I think that that's okay. This is just one of those things that like might give you a little bit of an illusion of choice, but it's not actually as complicated as it looks visually. When you first see this, don't get overwhelmed. You can very easily just make this, you could write this out in a simpler form, right? This isn't actually, I don't think this is as complicated as it appears visually. Now, the big additional awesome thing that Sentinel League is giving us. With that previously stated Sentinel combining mechanic, obviously we were able to, mama, papa, and baby bear. And then the baby bear can have a genetic mutation that might be a little off, right? Same thing, but for items. Combine, like these are consumable items that combine armor or weapon quiver or jewelry. And so you can take 2 different things, right? My guess with this one, right, was an astral plate that had really, really good armor and a grasping mail that had the increased global defenses. And then they combined them And one of the mutations was also to give yourself the keystone from Magebane. This is pretty interesting. In addition here, right? Look at this one. This is a Hunter ring that has cast speed. It has the Veiled modifier of non-channeling skills minus 10 mana cost, right? That's the Elrion ring drop only Veiled modifier, and Ally weakness from Hunter, as well as that mutation, which was +1 maximum power charges. What a ring, right? Pretty nutty. There are potential things that are out of control here. We're going to have to explore this. There's going to be so many possibilities. Other really good things, right? So like these Veiled mods that are drop only, look for incursion mods, look for delve mods, those things that are drop only from specific locations. Well, now we can combine those and put them on different influence types, combine them with Veiled modifiers, whatever, especially with these potential mutations. Crazy new items will be crafted that cannot currently exist. And this is, as someone who enjoys crafting, this is incredibly exciting. Definitely stay tuned. Get subscribed on the channel here. We're going to be delving really deep on this as news starts to unfold. Take control of your Atlas. This is literally exactly what I said I want them to do for 3.18. This is exactly what I wanted. We have the Atlas, right? They gave us this incredibly new, strong Atlas. What do I want them to do? Keep playing with it. It's an awesome system that's really fun. We kind of solved it, right? There's just there's a handful of variations. Continue to play with that. Give us variety. Give us new play styles. Give us new ways to interact with the Atlas. And they went above and beyond what I was asking, for real. I'm not blowing any smoke up their butts there. They gave us a bunch of these keystones, these new big keystones. For example, small Atlas passes grant nothing. However, each notable skill, and I counted out on stream a little bit earlier, we could probably comfortably get around 30 notables, the big ones. That's just straight pack size, right? You can get a flat 30% pack size in every single additional map that you run. Now, you are missing out on a lot of the bonus of those small passives, but the cool thing about this, right, is Elk and Go just becomes so strong because you're not rolling up for anything big anymore, right? Like that 80 pack size or whatever pack size that you're getting, you get another 30 on there, and that's going to be just more density, really cool. This one also, Twist of Fate, this one is so cool. Corrupted rare maps in any Atlas missions, anything, right? The scarabs that you put into your map device are anti-rolls. If you put in a Shaper Scarab, it will give you a non-Shaper Scarab. In addition, if you put in a corrupted rare map, right? So say you can't run Elemental Reflect, right? And you corrupted your map and you got Ellie Reflect, you put that map in, it guarantees that the map it opened doesn't have Ellie Reflect. So any maps or anything that's bricked or any scarabs that you don't like, you can put all of those in. You can put in like the crappy stuff. It's a chance to get something really good that you really like. And that's such a very cool design to salvage something that normally would be, bad for you. And especially for solo self-found players, I think this is exceptional because, previously you just couldn't use it no matter what. And in trade, you could like trade up or something, right? But with this, the possibilities are pretty awesome. Oh yeah, the thing that I wanted to point out, this little wheel here, each one of these is saying, I think this one's like Breach, this one's like Delirium. What these nodes say is you cannot roll that content on a map. So let's say you hate Abyss, you hate Breach, you hate Legion. You can take those 3 nodes, and look, they're all in the exact same place, right? I think there's 2 different wheels of them. They're all very grouped up. They're very easy to access. You can just say, hey, boom, boom, boom. This is the content I never want to see. And especially if you take like all of them, or except for like 1 or 2, you could deterministically basically force getting the content that you really want more often, like way more often on the map, which is just beautiful, right? Give the player as much choice as they want and just beautiful. I think it's so cool. Like I am not trying to be like a overhyped person. Like this morning I was gonna make a video. Like no joke. The video that I was gonna put out this morning was, hey guys, don't get too hyped about this league. It's probably gonna be really small. Yeah, no big deal. Whatever. It's just make sure it's gonna be fun, but don't go crazy. What? And then I couldn't. I tried to contain it. Yeah, they're so good, man. They're so good. All right, in addition to this, they're giving us Awakened, Empower, Enlighten, and Enhance, which means, we basically just get like 1 or 2 more levels on that. Pretty crazy, right? Just the build possibilities here are good. There is now an Awakened Thread of Hope that goes to a massive ring. There are new Awakened Forbidden Flame and Flesh jewels that give you class modifiers that currently don't exist. They are not on the passive tree, this is what I'm most excited about, right? This has the potential of giving us so much of like, there could be new build enabling passives, which they're going to be very rare, right? Super, super rare, but they could be so strong. Like think of your favorite ascendancy passive that is like super, super build enabling, like Shaper of Flames, right? Something like that. And there's new ones now, potentially new ones. I'm so excited to see what these end up being. It's gonna be crazy. Oh yeah, 4. And then I'm looking at the items. Uber bosses, Uber Elder, Uber Elder, sorry, Uber Shaper, Uber Eater of Worlds, Searing Exarch, Cortex, Cirrus, and the Maven. We are getting 6 new endgame Uber versions of the current bosses, and they have potential rewards that will be build enabling and huge and incredible. I mean, we're just gonna see what happens with that, right? In addition to that, if you remember, there was a boss rush competition. And for the people who killed the bosses at the beginning of the last league, they were able to work with GGG and design their own uniques. 3 of these were designed by Lighty because he is very good at the game and he killed most of the bosses himself. I'm not going to go over extreme detail of what these are. They're very, very cool. I strongly encourage you to look at it. There's going to be a lot of theory crafting going out, a lot of people trying to figure out what they can do with these items. But they're really cool, and some of these might be pretty build enabling. The biggest one here that I'll call out, I believe this was either Waggle or Steel Mages. Sorry, I forget whose this was. But this is the Impossible Escape. What it means is passives in the radius of a specific keystone, right? So if we open up PoB, so for Wicked Ward, right, it will give you this small radius, and when you have the jewel socketed, you know, somewhere down here, the passives within the radius of that keystone can then be allocated, right? So you could be, you know, for example, a Juggernaut, right? That you grab that jewel, and then up here you'll be able to, within this radius, right, take Searing Heat, and you could be like a chieftain, right? You could be a chieftain that takes this fire mastery, and you could be an energy shield based chieftain or something, or I don't know, whatever. You could be a Wander chieftain that is LE lightning conversion. Some of these may be build enabling, and it might be really, really interesting to see which keystones are available and the way that we can build that. So I did mention it a little bit earlier, but enjoy consistent character balance. A lot of people are like reeling still from the 3.15 nerfs. They were very, very big nerfs. GGG was looking in the long term, and they were saying, hey, in the very long term, we want to add all this stuff to the game. We need to do all of these nerfs to like open up the design space. And unfortunately, they hit us with them all at the exact same time. It was a very big, you know, emotional reaction from a lot of people. I think they're very, very happy with the state of the game. I was anticipating little to no nerfs at all. I felt so good in the current patch that I thought the next patch, you know, maybe some tweaks here and there, like some very minor ones. And it was even more than that. Literally no balance changes to a single ascendancy. Well, sorry, tricksters. Any gear, any skill gems, anything like that. They are untouched. Any unique items or anything. Omniscience, Ashes of Stars. So yeah, any build that works right now that you're really excited about is going to be just as strong, if not stronger, with the new uniques and the new jewels and all, and the new gear, right? Oh my God, that new crafted gear. So any build that you're liking right now, any build that you've been eyeing and you really want to give it a shot, there you go. This is the next league to really lean into it. Encounter impactful monster modifiers. This one's really interesting. They are consolidating and removing a lot of the old Nemesis mods and Bloodlines mods, and they're taking the Arch Nemesis mods, right? They're basically looking at the old mods and saying, they're kind of boring. You kind of ignore them. They're not scary at all, right? And especially with Headhunters, you're just looking for getting those modifiers and just getting really, really strong, going through the mod. Rare monsters we basically ignore, right? They're reworking it, so they're taking some of the old ones and they're keeping them, but they're combining that with the Arch Nemesis modifiers, those really big, scary ones like Temporal Bubble, Ice Prison. So this is going to be pretty wild. The big change here in the patch notes is that a Headhunter can only steal one of each type of modifier at a time. So no longer can you infinitely stack, Fizz's extra lightning or, extra projectiles or anything. So you can only get +1 of each. Now, if there's a good variety of them throughout the map, still stacking a bunch of them will be really, really good. Thing to look out for is because of the new Bloodlines mods, because they're taking those from Arch Nemesis, Replica Headhunter. Keep an eye out. I'm calling Replica Headhunter may be really good based on which mods. Replica Headhunter pulls Bloodline mods instead of Nemesis, right? That may be really, really good as a cheaper, maybe cheaper, alternatives to a regular Headhunter based on which modifiers go to Bloodlines and which ones go to Nemesis. So keep your eye out for that one. Definitely if you like heisting, that might be something that may appreciate in value, or just give it a shot and maybe something really, really good. So this is going to be, I think this might be the single biggest like baseline change in how we play the game and how we approach mapping and all that. This one, I'm really, really curious to see what it feels like. Official controller support, if you care about that. If you got a Steam Deck and you're super rich or something, you're lucky. There you go. You can do that. Some new quality of life stuff, really nice. And they reworked the challenge system. It will give you 2 full sets of armor, and the challenges, they said, are very, very hard. Now, I'm curious if those are like super grindy challenges, or if they're actual like, do 200, do the hardest possible stuff in the game. Probably a combination of both, right? New Kirax Vault, very, very cool. If you like the previous one, I think I've played a lot of games that have battle passes. Their implementation of it is one of the least offensive to me. It's really, really easy and almost guaranteed, as long as you get to the end game and you map, to unlock the entire thing. If you like what's in it, buy it. If you don't. It's totally optional. Do not buy microtransactions. Do not spend money that you don't want to spend. Totally, totally optional. Don't get bamboozled by something that's purely cosmetic. Same thing with the supporter packs. These things are extra as hell. These are the first supporter packs that are out of control. Let me see if I can just get to the, here. This is just the one. This is the one that I wanted to show you guys. This is a supporter pack that adds insane next level stuff. Your mileage may vary. This will play when you level up. Every time you level up, it will play that entire animation. So they're going extra. They're going very, very extra with their microtransactions. Funny enough, Ziggy D asked Chris about visual clarity very shortly after that, which made me giggle. This is the whole patch notes. It is only the stuff that I've said. The most interesting thing to me here is essences are going to be on the map device, and you can also force harvest and delirium for the bigger boy crafters and farmers. Everything else is really contained in what I already said. So that's the patch notes. Definitely go to pathofexile.com/forum/view-thread/3264788. It's on the front page. If you want to read the patch notes yourself, that's pretty much everything. It's good. At the very least, their announcement and their way that they roll this stuff out, they know what people are looking for. I'm really, really excited, but I want to echo the video that I was going to make this morning that I didn't, is no matter what, it is something put together by a marketing team. It is there to hype you up. The most important thing in your life is just like, don't overinvest. The video game will always be there. Don't overinvest in something, and don't stress out about something that is just a video game. It's not going to affect your life. It should not affect your life in a super negative way. Just make sure that it is a source of joy for you. Don't get bamboozled by challenges that ask you to grind hundreds of hours and just for cosmetic rewards, right? It is not your self-worth. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, make it a balanced, fun thing in your life, or just take a break. Don't play this league. I bet you 319 will be even better. It'll be waiting for you when it happens. So anyway, personally for me, I am really, really excited for this. I hope to see you at twitch.tv/subtractem, or subscribe right here on the YouTube channel as we continue to delve into this. Have a great time, make new builds, kill new monsters, and just have a lot of fun. So yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.